Tony Todd, actor known for Candyman and Platoon, dies at 69. Tony Todd, an actor who played the killer in Candyman and its 2021 sequel and appeared in the Final Destination franchise and Platoon among more than 240 film and TV credits spanning 40 years, died November 6th at his home in Los Angeles. He was 69. His reps confirmed the news to Deadline but did not provide a cause of death. Born on December 4th, 1954, in Washington, D.C., Todd pursued acting at the Eugene O'Neill National Actors Theater Institute and Trinity Rep Conservatory, where he honed his skills and developed his commanding style. Among his first screen roles was playing the heroin-addicted Sergeant Warren in Oliver Stone's Best Picture Oscar-winning Vietnam War classic Platoon. Todd went on to guest on such popular 1980s and 90s series as 21 Jump Street, Night Court, MacGyver, Matlock, Jake and the Fat Man, Law and Order, The X-Files, NYPD Blue, Beverly Hills 90210, Xena, Warrior Princesses, and Murder. She wrote in Star Trek, The Next Generation, Deep Space Nine, and Voyager. He also recurred as pesky TV news reporter Matt Rhodes on Homicide, Life on the Street, and as Gus Rogan in more than a dozen 2013 episodes of The Young and the Restless. All the while, Todd continued to act for the big screen. He appeared in 1980s dramas Lean on Me Colors and Charlie Parker biopic Bird starring Forrest Whitaker. But his best-known film roles came during the following decade. The 6'5" Todd starred in the 1990 remake Night of the Living Dead as Ben, the role played by Dwayne Jones in George A. Romero's iconic 1968 original. His next big role likely is his most famous, playing the mythical title Creep with a hook for a hand in Candyman, 1992. A character he reprised in the 2021 sequel of the same name. Candyman in the 1992 film was the ghost of Daniel Robitaille, whose parents were enslaved in the 1800s and became an accomplished painter. But eventually he fell for a white woman whose enraged father sent a lynch mob to kill him. Robitaille was burned on a spot where a public housing project later is built and where a series of unexplained murders occurs. The Candyman legend lived on in the 2021 sequel, directed by Nia DaCosta. It was among a number of horror roles for Todd that would continue throughout his 40-year career, including playing funeral home owner William Bloodworth in Final Destination and multiple sequels. He also played Grange, the right-hand man of Top Dollar, Michael Wincott in 1994's The Crow, starring Brandon Lee. You gotta have audience sympathy for the character in some way or another, Todd told Deadline in a 2022 interview. There's gotta be something attractive about the character that makes people want to root for them, but at the same time feel repulsed by the idea. And for me personally, for every film that I do, I create a backstory for all my tortured people and my heroes alike. Todd continued to work steadily in film, TV, and video games throughout the 21st century, including a recurring gig as the CIA director on NBC's Chuck Freeform's Dead of Summer and MTV/VH1 Scream. His silver screen roles mainly were in B-movies. He also was a sought-after voice actor, lending his rich and resonant pipes to dozens of roles ranging from Star Trek and Call of Duty games to TV's Transformers Prime and Be Cool, Scooby-Doo, and such films as Transformers Rise of the Fallen. Possessed of a warm laugh and generous spirit that belied his hulking appearance, Todd continued to work into this year, including Stream and a lead role in The Bunker, one of more than a dozen upcoming credits per IMDb. He appeared in last year's Stream, Realm of Shadows, and Werewolf Game, and in the 2022 SXS's debut-premiering Bitch Ass. Todd also about a half dozen small films during the 2000s and appeared as himself in dozens of mostly horror-themed documentaries and docuseries. Other significant early films include the 1986 Clint Eastwood-directed jazz biopic Bird and the 1990 remake Night of the Living Dead. Todd's most indelible performance came in the 1992 horror Candyman, in which he played the titular character, a hook-handed murderer who appears when his name is spoken 5 times into a mirror. Candyman was celebrated for its incisive social commentary and innovative take on horror. The film later spawned 3 sequels: Candyman Farewell to the Flesh, 1995, Candyman 3 Day of the Dead, 1999, and Candyman 2021, all of which starred Todd. In 1994, Todd starred in the Brandon Lee starring cult horror The Crow, playing the character of Grange, the right-hand man of crime boss Top Dollar, Michael Wincott. He played a Marine Corps captain in the 1994 Nick Cage thriller The Rock, and funeral home owner William Bloodworth in the hit 2000 horror film Final Destination. He also appeared in 3 of the Final Destination sequels and will posthumously feature in the forthcoming Final Destination, Bloodlines, which is currently in post-production. Todd also worked extensively in TV, in series including 21 Jump Street, Night Court, MacGyver, Matlock, Law and Order, The X-Files, NYPD Blue, Star Trek The Next Generation, and Homicide, Life on the Street, and as a voice actor in projects such as Transformers, Rise of the Fallen. He furthermore enjoyed a rich career on stage, starring in Broadway productions of Aida and August Wilson's King Hedley II, among others. On Instagram, New Line Cinema, the studio behind the Final Destination franchise, wrote, "The industry has lost a legend. We have lost a cherished friend. Rest in peace, Tony, your Final Destination family."